We use the internet every day. You tap an app to stream a movie or hit send on an email, and the data just seems to arrive. For most of us, the network exists as an invisible, floating abstraction, a cloud. But this marketing term describes a massive, physical system of wires. To connect continents, we bury thick copper and fiber optic lines deep in the dirt and stretch them thousands of miles across the ocean floor. Even using Wi-Fi or cellular data, your signal travels a short distance through the air before hitting a radio tower that plugs right back into those buried cables. Every digital action remains tethered to a vast global web of heavy industrial hardware. Since billions of devices are plugged into this exact same web of physical wires, it creates a massive traffic problem. Imagine sitting at work. You and your boss are on the exact same network connection, but you are surfing entirely different websites. What keeps your personal social media feed from accidentally popping up on your boss's screen? The network uses a rigid, automated system of addresses and intersections to guide every single piece of data through the physical maze. The devices you use every day, laptops, phones, smart TVs, sit at the extreme edge of this network. Engineers call these clients. These clients connect to servers, powerful, specialized computers wired directly into the core of the internet, to hold all the websites and files you want to access. Your Internet Service Provider, or ISP, acts as your physical gateway from these devices onto the larger network. Because complete files, like high-definition videos, are too bulky to travel across these wires in one piece, the data must be fragmented. Look at this diagram. Before anything leaves your device, the software chops that large file into millions of tiny, manageable fragments called packets. No matter how complex the media seems on your screen, it begins its journey as a fast-moving stream of these uniform little blocks. To reach the server, each packet needs a destination. Every device on the network gets a unique numerical label called an IP address, which functions like a postal code. As packets travel, they hit physical intersections where wires cross. At these junctions, specialized sorting machines called routers decide which wire to take next. Think of the data as a piece of candy. Before it leaves your device, it receives a digital wrapper stamped with the destination's IP address. When the packet hits the first router, it adds a second layer of instructions, pointing it toward the next physical intersection. This happens over and over, accumulating a new layer at every stop through 10 to 15 different routers. These routers act as the automated traffic cops of the infrastructure, keeping billions of overlapping packets moving towards their correct destinations without colliding. This entire relay race relies on equipment built by dozens of competing companies across hundreds of countries. Hardware compatibility requires a shared language. Every device on the internet agrees to follow protocols, specifically TCP/IP, a rigid mathematical set of rules for formatting and transmitting data. These standards are defined and maintained by neutral international groups, like the Internet Engineering Task Force. Without this software agreement, the thousands of miles of copper and fiber optics would remain a silent, disconnected pile of metal. Eventually, the packets reach the remote server. The server unwraps the layers, reads your request, and calculates its response. If you check your inbox, the server gathers that email data, chops it into new packets, and fires them back into the wires. The return trip reverses the process. Watch the diagram. Each router peels away an outer layer to find the next stop, guiding the packet to your IP address. Upon delivery, your application stitches the arriving packets back together in their original order. The wires and routers remain indifferent to the media they carry. Their only job is the high-speed transit of these chopped-up fragments. When you zoom out, the full system comes into focus, an ecosystem of edge clients connecting through ISPs to servers, bridged by physical cables and governed by universal protocols. The internet is a massive physical infrastructure, literally a network of networks, that links these billions of devices into a single whole. Right now, billions of times every second, these silent digital fragments race under city streets and ocean floors to execute the commands on our screens. By understanding the mechanics behind the machine, you now possess a functional grasp of the world's most critical infrastructure.